Hello, guys. Good afternoon. I ain't been live on here in a minute, so I thought I would just come and this is appropriate, a very appropriate conversation that I probably have been needing to have for about a couple of months at least, honestly. Okay. This is a very, very serious conversation that I need to have with y'all. And then, especially those of you that are thinking about becoming a client. And then also for those of you that are currently clients. Okay. So, especially with love cases where you are dealing with, another divine feminine, let's put it like that. Especially I want this message to really, really, really go out to love clients. Okay. And, I know that everybody has been um, sort of tight with money, or money has been tight. And I get that totally. Um, but I think that you guys need to understand this. Okay. Hey, 1EQ. Hello, sweetie. So especially when it comes to love work, because love work can get really, really nasty, especially a third party type of situation. It is a lot more complicated than people think. A lot of people have found out the hard way that when you are dealing with an external person or individual outside of yourself, you have to understand that you can't force anything. Okay. So when I speak about love clients, I'm speaking from a perspective of a woman, a female, a witch. And I speak mainly from a woman's perspective because typically the love clients that I get are third party, love triangles, um, or reunion workings. Okay. So, in either case, things can get really nasty and things can get really ugly. And I've got a few clients currently right now that came from um, other spiritualists, and those have been some of the most difficult ones, to be honest with you. And are those of you that waited 3 months, 6 months, a year after the fact to act on what you're doing. So, a lot of you guys will want to just manifest your desires. Um, and it seems pretty cut and dry for a lot of you guys. You want him to either break up with the person that he's currently with and come back to you, or you could be with that person and dealing with an ex. At any rate, if you're getting breakup work, this is considered to be black magic or baneful magic. And I really do try to go over it with you guys, but when y'all are desiring something, you don't be wanting to hear reason. And I've actually kind of started to refuse cases like that unless you do the proper thing, which would be to get protection. And a lot of y'all will sort of be like, oh, well, this is my budget. And what can we do to work, within this? And so, um, prior to starting offering the witch's bottles, which I prefer the witch bottles, I was offering protection jars or either poppets. And so, I'm actually going to start making it a requirement for you to get protection if you're getting any kind of baneful workings. You have to get protection, and that does cost extra. Not much extra, but if you're not doing anything prior to coming to me for protection, then that's something that would be your responsibility. Okay. Meaning that, you can either have your own protection that you trust and that you're fine with, or you can get it from me at the same time that you are getting those dark workings, because they are still considered to be black magic. No matter how much you think that you are entitled to that man, okay, it's still considered to be black magic. And then also another requirement is for you to have some kind of cleansing plan within 90 days. Some of y'all come in needing cleanses, though, really bad, because you're either dealing with a lot of negativity, um, and you're not transmuting it, okay, or a lot of you guys may need healing, and cleanses are very similar to a healing, right? They're very similar, because what a cleanse will do is it will kickstart your healing. Okay, it does it. It just happens. Unless you need something a little bit more focused, then it would be necessary for you to get a separate healing. If you're not doing any kind of cleansing regime, then you're not practicing self care. And it is important for you to do that. It is very, very important for you guys to do that. Okay. Do not forget to take care of yourself while you are doing these workings. And I have noticed that a lot of women will come to me, and good Lord, why does the Tasmanian devil always pop up when I go live? Goodness gracious. Seem like every time I go live, and talk about something, here comes you hear this loud ass motorcycle, and it's like, would you go somewhere, please? Anyway, a lot of y'all women, y'all are focused. You want your man back. You want your man back, especially those of you that are getting love work. Y'all can be some of the most difficult, and y'all are super duper, super duper, duper, duper focused on getting this man back into your life. And to be honest with you, I'm really, really thinking about not even involving myself in those cases anymore, unless you do the requirement. Because what I found, because I keep an open relationship with my clients, sometimes I'll be sitting here 8:30, 9 o'clock in the evening, and y'all be texting me stuff. And I'll let you know, you need a cleanse. Oh, why do I need a cleanse, Jamila? Because we did some baneful work on a target, and you need to cleanse yourself. That's not included. Okay, it's not. So you have to think about that. And I do charge for cleanses. My cleanses are some of the best in the business. No, I'm joking. As long as you are doing what you're supposed to do at home. Okay. And what I'll notice is that, like, at any given moment, as I'm rotating clients, I'll notice that y'all will be almost under possession of something, or either you'll be fixated on the situation. And that lets me know that you need to take care of self. You need to put that man to the side and look out for self. Um, my love reunions definitely and absolutely work. In fact, just to give you guys some encouragement, I am going to ask one of my clients to send me a review because she just told me that she manifested this reunion. The reunion manifested, and we did her reunion. Oh, it was a trip. It took about, he was kind of in and out, but it took about maybe close to the tip of 60 days to actually get back to where, things are supposed to be. And see, especially when you're dealing with the aftermath of breakup work or separation work or either separation circumstances, um, that can have a very traumatic effect on the spirit. So it's almost like the relationship, because this particular client that I'm talking about that did just recently manifest the reunion, it was kind of awkward for a minute until they finally was able to come together. You know what I'm saying? But it was awkward, and she, and I told her just to be patient, and I do offer a working to clear away all of the. It's like a void that happens to where the person is there, but it's almost like it's not the same, and it kind of feels like you have to reconnect. Still, it's like putting all of everything back together, putting the pieces back together. And so, that can be difficult. But in the meantime, while you're waiting for that reunion, and it can happen faster, but if you're sitting there obsessing, 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 angry, mad, upset, it makes it take longer. It makes that manifestation take longer. So I always suggest to my female clients, especially my women. I'm sorry if female people don't like to be called female. I always tell my clients that are women, hey, during this time, I want you to, pamper yourself. Make sure that you're doing cleansing baths. If you're getting a cleanse, okay, if you're getting a cleanse, it's better, but you can actually cleanse yourself at home. If you can't afford to get a cleanse, you can cleanse yourself at home. I was thinking about offering a special on my cleanses, actually, because they went up. They're supposed to go up, but kind of, I don't know, that Mercury retrograde that we recently had really, really, really was like so rough on everybody, to where people were suffering from memory loss. A lot of people were kind of suffering from memory loss. It was really weird. Anyway, my suggestion, my suggestion, because sometimes things take time to heal. Some clients, the man will be calling you within a day or within hours. But with some people, especially if he's dealing with his own stuff, and a lot of people, when they're dealing with their difficult situations, a lot of people like to deal with their difficult situations alone. They don't want to be bothered with nobody else. And so they may be working something out within themselves that you need to be patient with, be patient with that person. But in the meantime, work on yourself, work on the things that you need to work on. Like, for example, if the situation has stressed you out and your nerves are bad, you be shocked and amazed at how purification, I'm gonna start calling them purification rituals, is what I'm gonna start calling them. Purifying your spirit and balancing your chakras, because you get a chakra balancing at the same time. Um, you'd be surprised at the fact that within a few hours you're feeling better already, and things are moving forward for you, and you feel better, and you feel good about yourself. right? Because a lot of the times with breakup work, if you get somebody that's really, really experienced, what they're going off of is the opposite of Venus, which Venus is it's not just the planet of love, but it's also the planet of confidence. So Venus is connected to your solar plexus, so is the sun. So those energies, if they are pitted against you, can really have a disastrous effect and make you feel insecure, make you feel, just unstable within your spirit. So it's really good for you to work on yourself. I've even had clients do cleanses on their husbands or their men at the same time. And I'm putting a lot of focus on that because I noticed that love clients in particular, uh, which, believe it or not, love clients, I love you guys to pieces, but y'all are my least favorite cases. It's not to say that the quality of the work is not going to be there. Yes, it is. It's not to say that. But I do like to work with clients that are just generally working on themselves. Now, the drawback to those clients is that there's usually some kind of love blockage that needs to be addressed. So, all of y'all are my favorites, okay? But a lot of the times when you're dealing with love clients, it's so much more complicated. It really is. It's so complicated. You're dealing with a sea of emotions, you know what I'm saying? And it sometimes it seems like y'all are drowning in y'all emotions. And as an empath, it's my job to know that, because it's kind of like second nature for me to know how you're feeling, and what you're going through. So um once the work has been done, and I because what I do with my clients is I send you guys the petition. I show you the work that I do. I do. I'll show you the petition. You see exactly what you got while you are manifesting that. Um, and I actually, it is important for you to not try really, really hard to not contact that person. Wait for them to contact you. That is important because that lets you know that it's true manifestation, unless you are instructed otherwise, okay? Because some people, they have poor communication, and you may not hear from them unless you contact them, and then that will open the situation up. But otherwise, it's best for you to not contact them. That is the God to honest truth. And then also, it's good for you to try not, which I know it can be really, really hard, try not to have sex with them until they have made some sort of a commitment. I know that, some people feel differently or indifferent about that, but I guess it depends on what it is that you want. Okay. If you are, sexually active, and typically money, a man giving you money, believe it or not, is not actually a love commitment. That doesn't mean that he's committed to you. That just means that he gave you a little bit of money or a lot of money, right? So, but that doesn't always equate to a commitment. So, anyway, because I have had that happen. I have it happen all the time, especially when you want some money out of them. But I would say during that time, work on yourself, work on your career. If you're having any problems at work, work on those things. And then, once you start to distract yourself with other things, he'll pop up. You ever notice how when you just stop thinking about a man, and then all of a sudden he just kind of pops up, right? That typically is not going to happen automatically when you've got a breakup, though, when somebody has done some kind of breakup or manipulation. But because I don't know. I think that the reason why there's so much extra stuff required is because I don't know why, but there's a lot of people that have no problem. They have absolutely no problem with interfering, not just with your love life, but they're also trying to interfere with y'all careers. So when it comes to y'all that are doing love work, I would say definitely make sure that you practice self-care. Also, problems on the job, any problem. Let's talk about problems on your job. Once the work has been done, I usually give you instructions on what to do. Okay. Still practice self care when you are when you're dealing with any situation. I don't care if it's a spiritual warfare that you've been involved with since you was a baby. It doesn't matter. During that time, focus on self care. And if you can afford it, get you a cleanse or a purification. I have a tendency to call it cleanse. People are kind of scared of that word, and I don't know why. I guess it's the devil, as one EQL be like that devil. I guess it would be. Um, yeah, cleanses, purification workings, really, really important, to clear those energies off of you that are making you feel bad and just making you depressed and all that stuff. And, some of my lives are pretty controversial because I do mention those things. Yes, depression and anxiety and a lot of other things can be facilitated or exacerbated by bad spiritual energy. Yep, they can. And so that within itself gets me into a lot of trouble. But I think that if you're a person that has just been clinically depressed for years, I'm not telling you to not listen to your doctor. So I'm not saying that. But, and I'm not going to go any further with that conversation because that is something that is, for some reason, it's like a blind spot. It's like a blind area. But y'all understand that my part, what comes along with my ancestry is Native American. And I believe it's Blackfoot Native American. And the Native Americans, they had their own ideas about that. You know what I'm saying? They did. They felt like they were healers. I have an ancestral background of healers. So, you know, and so they had different views and opinions on that, which are not very popular on the YouTubers on the YouTube side. There's some witches on here that they would feel some type of way about me saying that, clearing away bad spirits will clear up your depression and anxiety. They probably would have an issue with me saying that. I come from a different perspective, different background. Okay. My great grandmother was a healer and a witch, and I have a lot of roots in that. And there's certain people that don't have that. Everybody's witchery is different, and so I feel like you just have to respect everybody's you know witchery. I mean, if I mean, let's keep it a buck. If you've been stuck in the bed, like you've literally can't leave the bed, like for 3 to 6 months, damn, you are like, that's really, really bad depression, which is different between, oh, I just feel a little sad. I feel like, but you're still able to get up and go to work. So there's a difference, right? Okay. So, make sure that y'all are doing that though. Take care of yourselves, okay? Like I said, I'm not just a witch. I'm a healer. I don't just do spells. I help people in those situations. And you have to do that. Otherwise, especially when it comes to maintaining your household, if you suspect that somebody has been throwing baneful magic at you, you are going to have to do certain things to protect your house. You are. Because if somebody is attacking you, your house is going to be a representation of that. you know, that's why I'm over here organizing and trying to put stuff up. I got stuff just all out everywhere. I'm trying to get this stuff put up. Okay. Or it could be somebody specifically attacking your place of residence. You just never know what's happening. So, you know, make sure that you do that. Make sure that you are practicing self care, please. Okay. If you can't afford a cleanse, or if you feel like you don't want one, then hey, at least make sure that you are taking a cleansing bath once a week. Maybe schedule it every Friday. But I just recently ran into one of my clients, and I'm gonna have to call her. I kind of got a new client, and she was just like, "Oh, I don't like taking baths. I don't take baths," and I'm gonna have to be stern with her about that. I'm gonna say no. And I did already talk. She's probably listening to me right now too. She's probably like, "This heifer's talking about me." I if when you tell me that, I don't go, well, I'm not gonna get into no argument with you, but I will go and talk to Yim and Yah about that. I will. I'll go into, because that's a problem. You know what I'm saying? That's an issue. If you are not understanding that there is a totally big difference between a bath and a shower. Okay, for spiritual purposes, especially, but not just that, you feel more relaxed. But a spiritual bath is important, because what is a spiritual bath doing? A spiritual bath is almost like a reset. Okay. And I can tell you that my most difficult clients to manifest are the ones that don't have a bathtub. Y'all need to start being more particular about where you decide to live. I don't understand why anybody would rent a place that doesn't have a bathtub, but they actually build apartments and stuff that don't have bathtubs. So, and I found that because of those clients having an inability to soak in that tub, that it seems like it makes it so difficult. Their manifestations are so much more difficult, to the point where I'm like, hey, listen, I am telling you right now, and this is a disclaimer. When I give you guys instructions to do something, I'm giving you those instructions for a reason. I'm not responsible for what you don't do at home yourself. I'm not responsible for that. If and because I suggested to this client, I've been with her. This client has been with me for since almost the beginning, since 2017, and she don't have a bathtub, and I'm like, buy a blow up tub, you know. Okay, so that's important. And I'm going to start pushing that narrative, because it's not a narrative, it's just the truth. You can't, when us spiritualists or witches when we instruct you to take a bath, we're not just telling you that just to be telling you. Okay, it's a reason why we're telling you that. And so it's not like you can just manifest everything through the bathtub, unless you are a witch that works with water constantly, and you know how to manifest everything by taking baths. I have seen that before, and I've actually done that before. Okay. In fact, your high priestess Jamila is gonna start keeping a very, very strict bathing schedule. Okay. I'm going to start doing that again because I think that is necessary. And I can't take a bath for you, you know. Um, I can take a bath for my children. I can. I've actually done it. I've cleansed my children just by me taking a bath, but you're not my child, unfortunately. So you have to do the bathing. You have to do that yourself, okay? And just to make it easier for y'all, I just called a Yimmy Yah about that for y'all to do that. But that's important. That's a part, it's a huge portion of the self-care is taking your baths. And you know what else I noticed though? I noticed that ever since that you know what is so weird? I'm gonna have to check and see what was the year that happened. I think it happened in 2019 actually. One EQ. You know that little girl, I think her name is Kate Reston, the little girl that got in the bathtub and passed away cuz I guess she was doing a ritual with I think was it she said it was supposed to be Papa Legba, but everybody was like, no, that wasn't Papa Legba. You know who I'm talking about? Her name is Kate Reston. She actually I believe it was in 2019. And I've noticed that people or have gotten a little bit scared of spiritual baths since then, as if, there's some kind of water demon or something that's going to come up and eat you or something. And I'm not going to read into that situation because we're not going to wake that up. You don't know who I'm talking about? Okay. Maybe I'll do a video on it since you don't know who I'm talking about. I'm shocked that you don't know who I'm talking about. Her name is Kate Reston. And it was a huge story a few years ago. They were talking about that lady that had basically died in the tub. She was taking a spiritual bath and she was supposed to be doing a ritual with Papa Legba and she ended up dying. And I'm not gonna do a reading on it, not publicly. I don't need that kind of heat. Oh, I'm just not gonna do it. But she had actually passed away, and I think people are a little afraid of that. I think people are really afraid of that. But that's not anything that you need to be afraid of. I know that's right. Well, I don't know what happened with this little girl. Like they were saying that it was a bit. You look it up. It's an interesting story, but I think that a lot of people, especially um, people in the white community, kind of got scared of like the black deities or whatever. Like they kind of got scared because the whole gatekeeping thing or whatever. I feel like you should do whatever you want to do that you feel comfortable with. But I guess it would depend on your lineage or whatever, like your bloodline, because I've heard a lot of people say that white people are not supposed to use white sage because it's there. And so, but then again, I've heard a lot of them say I use white sage all the time and I don't have a problem. So I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I'd say that you have to follow your intuition on that. But taking those spiritual baths is very important. You're not gonna die if you take a spiritual bath. But I think that a lot of people fear that since that incident happened with that girl. And we don't really know what happened, okay? We've heard a lot of different spooky stories. Supposedly there was somebody that was there with her. I'm not trying to scare the shit out of y'all, but supposedly there was somebody there with her that saw her go under, and apparently they said that they saw some kind of entity that came up and snatched her down or something. And I'm not going to get in it because it ain't my business. My name is Bennett and I ain't in it. And I've learned to mind my business for real, seriously. Because, it's interesting to talk about these things, but I already got enough going on to where, you know what I'm saying? I'm not going to get into it. Okay. I got my own problems and issues to worry about, and it ain't going to serve me to be running around here, with the whole spiritual gossip thing. I'm not doing it, but it was pretty bad, that thing that happened. And a lot of people, became very afraid after that. But the water is not going to kill you. It's actually going to refresh you. It's like a rebirth, right? And for some reason people are afraid of that, but one of my other clients, I had instructed her to take a spiritual bath, and she came back and she was like, "Oh my God, I really enjoyed that. But I got to tell you, when I first got in the tub, like," she was like, "my heart just started racing." And I was just like, "This is different, you know? This is different." Because some of y'all ain't took a sit down bath since y'all was a kid. Okay. And I always try to take a bath every Wednesday night or either Thursday during the day. So I just ain't been disciplined at it. I haven't. Okay. I will admit to that. I have not been disciplined at doing that. So make sure you do that. Um, Taking spiritual baths is a part of the self care. Not only that, you know, listening to meditation frequencies, even if you only do it for 5 to 10 minutes per day, um, you can find those. I would say the most universal, safest ones would be the sound bowls. Okay. If you want to know which is the safest, would be the sound bowls, okay, or the singing bowls. They're called singing bowls or something like that. As long as it doesn't have a subliminal in it, because some people don't really trust those subliminals, which I don't blame you. There are quite a few that I recommend that are even on YouTube, that you can either play on YouTube or download, and so that would be a part of the self-care. Also, walking barefoot on the grass is a part of self-care. That connection to the earth, what it does is it neutralizes all of that negativity that you may have taken in, but then it also heals you. It's very, very healing. Okay. I guess some people are afraid. Some people never take their shoes off ever. And I'm like, I'm a barefoot type of person. So, but yeah, that is actually good for you to just, take your sandals off, take your shoes off, and walk barefoot on the grass. So that you can, basically what it does, and this has actually been proven. It's been proven. People have done tests of how your body is reacting to having on shoes versus taking your shoes off and walking barefoot on the grass. So that's another thing that would be considered self-care. Um, to go even further, depending on what kind of work you're doing, vision boards are really important. Okay, doing some kind of vision board. So it depends on what you're doing. When I give you guys instructions on self-care, that's a part of loving yourself. Especially love clients. I know y'all are coming to me for love work, but that nigga ain't going nowhere. But you need to take care of yourself. He gonna be all right. He gonna be back. He gonna be all right. Y'all need to take that time to take care of self during that time and show yourself some self love. Okay. And that's a part of that is giving yourself self-care. Okay. So I wanted to give y'all that message because I noticed that people, those clients that, it's like sometimes you guys will text me or email me and I'll ask you, I'll say, have you taken a spiritual bath? Have you done any form of meditation? And sometimes y'all won't answer back. And I'm like, don't do that. Don't not answer me back. I don't like when people I don't like that. I'm not telling y'all what to do, but it's like, you know, yeah. And so just make sure that if you're communicating with me, that the communication is good on your part. Because I actually do take the time to communicate with my clients. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not worried about all the rest of that stuff because, especially since I've done my transmutation bottles, I'm doing things a lot different because it's definitely necessary to do things different. So for example, um, whenever I do workings for you guys, cleanses, you'll get a bottle protection, which bottle to go with that. And also it'll be transmutation. It'll have transmutation powers with it. And then those of you that get reversals, hex breakers, curse breakers, I've started to include the witch bottle with it. Okay, because especially if y'all are involved in long-term situations and you never know what's going on. So you're gonna need that. And I'm gonna have some smaller candles coming. I got one more candle to do, and I'll be done with all of the candles for the money ritual. So I'm just gonna get that one done, and and the ritual. I'm not gonna. Yeah, I could. Yeah, I had to. These candles have taken hours because they're big, and you know, waiting on people to get back with me. So I'm being patient and waiting on y'all too. Okay. So yeah, that's pretty much what I've been up to is doing that, and I've got them all here, and they are pretty freaking amazing. I got one more gold one to do, and then I'll be done. But what I want to do is I want to make some for healing as well. I like to use pink and green for healing, so I'm gonna be using some. I'm gonna be making some. Uh, it'll either be a pink candle with the green drippy. It'll be either whichever way, you know. Um, I'll be doing those. It'll be the smaller ones for healing and stuff. So basically, it's because a lot of y'all will deal with stuff that hurts you. It'll just kind of either it'll hurt your feelings or it will hurt you in some kind of way, and it's really good to do healing. So I'm gonna be selling those um, candles for you to burn yourself too, and I'm definitely by August I'm going to be able to send you guys more stuff like you know your witch bottles, and then like a candle to go with it, and maybe a sage stick and stuff. I'm going to start sending out gifts to my clients, so just as a thank you. Okay. And then maybe even small herb packets for you to boil and strain and put in your bath. So that will be coming up more so going towards August that I'll be doing that. Please, please, please take care of yourselves, especially if you're getting, people think, oh, it's a breakup work, but that's black magic. That's a dark working. Okay. So some people would even say that it's evil. Okay. Some people would say that you're evil. Oh, that's so evil. You did that. You went to somebody and did. That's why y'all not supposed to be discussing it with nobody. You know what I'm saying? So just please take care of yourselves. Stop being cheap. Invest in your spiritual stuff, please. Um, and do what you're supposed to do. Okay. And a lot of y'all need protection because you may have somebody doing black magic on you, and you definitely need that energy to transmute for some reason. And I believe it's universal what's happening. For some reason, things are not automatically transmuting. And I've noticed that because they used to automatically transmute for a lot of people, and it's not. So you have a lot of people that are just like, I don't believe in anything. I just want to disappear and I want to leave planet Earth and I just don't want to live here anymore. Y'all ready to float up to Mars or somewhere? you know, don't be like that, okay? Don't be too prideful to invest in yourself spiritually, is what I say, okay? Anyway, all right, you guys, I will see you later. Make sure you hit that thumbs up. Also, make sure that you share this or either bookmark it, if you weren't really able to listen, because I do know that it's like 2 o'clock and a lot of y'all during the day, you feeling scattered. During the day, you're feeling overwhelmed. And y'all like Jamila, uh, and I used to feel that way too. But you shouldn't be feeling that way just because you're at work. Because I'm at work too. I'm always working. Sometimes I work, sometimes I feel like I'm working 24 hours a day, but sometimes it'll be broken up throughout the day, but sometimes I feel like I'm working all day, but I don't feel overwhelmed and drained like what y'all feeling. And there's a reason why, is because you want what you desire, but you don't want to take care of self. And I don't just do that automatically. It takes more of my supplies and my resources, jars, bottles. That stuff is not free. And then my time is not free either. Okay. So, anyway, I will see y'all later. Thank you for watching. If you guys haven't subbed to this channel, make sure that you sub. And I will see you guys next time. Okay. All right. Blessings. Bye. Oh, before I go, y'all still have time to get into the money circle for the new moon. You still have time to do that. And it's going to stay open until August the 2nd because of llamas that's coming up. So the money circle is actually turned into llamas or lanasa this year. If you guys don't know what lanasa is, I did put up a quick video kind of breaking it down for you. Because, when I mention the Sabbats to people, they'll say, what is that? What is that? It's like, oh my goodness gracious. You can tell that you was not raised by a witch. I don't know why they so down on witchcraft. It's weird. Or witches. It's weird. I don't know. Probably because they focus on the negative. Okay, guys. Anyway, I will see y'all later. Y'all have a good one. Blessings. Bye bye.